safe. Got a terrible secret, that's it, isn't it, Doctor? What I know of man was written long ago. Sit down. Lawgiver. Cornelius, come here. Reach into my pocket. Read to him the 29th 6th verse. Beware the beast man, for he is the devil's pawn. Alone among God's primates, he kills for sport, or lust, or greed. Yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. Let him not breed in great numbers, for he will make a desert of his home and yours. Shun him. Drive him back into his jungle lair, for he is the harbinger of death. I found nothing in the cave to alter that conception of man, and I still live by its injunction.
Barakatayawa, Barakatayawa Shah, Barakatayawa, Barakatayawa Shah. Call all Yamla, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. It's the brother Abaka Lai Walam. Here to share this video to the Akim and the Aqua, the body of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah for edification. And first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And double honors to the apostles and the elders that I learned the truth from, the men at GMS, and the brothers with the like-minded doctrine. You know, just to share this video of this the creation of seem like Man and Beast by Esau Edom. You know, says they trying to their scientists he's a Edomite. I think we'll get into it who this guy is, and I think if not this video, it's the next video, the scientist, because that he's trying to merge human cells with beasts or monkeys. And I think they try to do it also. He tried the same scientist try to do it with pigs too. He tried to merge this human cells with the embryo of a pig. I'm gonna let this video play and we get to some scriptures afterwards.
Being raised after it emerged that US and Chinese scientists have implanted human cells into monkey embryos. The aim of the research is to understand more about how cells develop and to help research in cultivating organs for transplant. The scientists injected human stem cells, cells that have the ability to develop into many different body tissues, into macaque embryos. The developing embryos were studied for up to 20 days. Other so-called mixed species embryos or chimeras with human cells implanted into sheep and pig embryos. This scientific group was led by Professor Juan Belmonte of the Salk Institute in the US. He says the work could address the shortage in transplantable organs and help us understand more about early human development, the way disease progresses, and aging. Catherine DeVold is a senior research fellow at the Oxford Wahiro Centre for Practical Ethics. I asked her if we should see the embryos as human at all.
That's a good question. It's a difficult question. So I think when we create an organism that is a mix between a human and a monkey, we're really not sure at all what sort of organism we have created. I mean, is it a human? Is it a monkey? Is it something? And that raises ethical issues because we don't know how we should treat these creatures ethically. Can we simply use them in scientific experiments? Can we destroy them in experiments when we really don't know what sort of organism they are?
Do you see a line between scientific research up to a number of days, say 20 days?
I'm gonna stop there and see it. Like that's the mindset of Esau Edom. He's trying to play the Most High. You know, he's trying to play God. He's trying to create his own beings. You know what I'm saying? Something of the sort of his creation. That's just get that in the scriptures. Second Thessalonians 2 chapter 2. We're going to start at verse 3. It said, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition," which is the son of perdition is Esau Edom, the nation of Edom, who opposeth, and exalteth himself above all that is called God, and that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. See, that's what he's trying to do. You know, the Most High created life. He created man from the dust of the ground. You know, that's what he's doing with these same method. He's trying to create his own, you know, create his own, make his own creation of life. You know, by mixing these cells, embryos. You know, is another tactic or another way of him trying to exalt himself and becoming as the Most High. Just going to jumping down to verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. You know that's what's going on here. The mysteries of iniquity is already at work. It's been at work. You know, they do things in secret. They've been doing things in secret and all. You know, the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, let them do what they do. You know, but that's what that's just something extra that they do. You know, they also try to create your food. You know, like the GMOs and what's going along with that is that this with them creating these hybrids or human / monkey embryos. They are you can bet you never know, because they the father of lies. You never know how they'll go about this thing if it comes to fruition of how they want it, how they want to create a monkey with human intelligence or something of that sort, because they already got the Darwin. It's like the Darwin theory that we evolved from apes. So you never know how they'll try to throw this out. Years, a decade or so, years down the line, they probably say, "See, you got monkeys walking around with intellect." They said, "We see there, we did evolve from monkeys." You know what I'm saying? You never know how these people try to throw this out. You know, what they make of this after if it comes to fruition. You know, if it comes to as a real thing. Which it is, that's what they're doing. But you know, if monkeys if they can make monkeys walk around with human intellect, I'm gonna just let the video continue on a little bit more.
And beyond.
Yes, so I think there is an important distinction here. So I think the problem I raised about us not being sure what sort of organism we create, how we should treat it, is not so much of a problem for the research we're discussing here, because in that research, as you mentioned, the human monkey chimeras were destroyed when they were 19-day-old embryos. So that is before the development of a nervous system, before there are any mental capacities. So I think not so many ethical issues there, but of course this sort of research opens the door to research where with chimeras that are allowed to develop further. And then we may create human-animal chimeras with perhaps human neurons in their brains. And that raises a lot of ethical issues, because what looks like an animal may well have mental capacities similar to that of a human being. And in that case, of course, we simply can't, as in scientific research, we can't just simply destroy them or use them to extract organs for transplantations into humans.
Denied in.
They try to say, I guess the reason of trying to do it is that's the end of that video. They trying to make human organs to use in human, you know, to swap out organs from humans or something of the sort. Same thing they were doing with the pig. But I got another video that basically on the same thing. But yeah, that's what they try to they said they trying to create these things for organ transplants, man. Like, dude, that's insane. I'm gonna get this out the scripture. What the scripture says about humans and the different types of flesh. You know, there's human flesh. There's human flesh. There's all flesh is not the same, basically. You know, that's in 1 Corinthians 15 and 39. Chapter 15, verse 39. It reads from all. It reads, verse 39. All flesh is not the same. It's like here. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of man, another flesh of beasts, another flesh of fishes, and another of birds. See, that's the point. That all flesh is not the same, but they trying to make their reasoning of it doing this is to for organ transplant, creating organs to transplant and put into human bodies. You know, I'm gonna just let this video play a little bit, and that too, the creation of the. I'm gonna just let this play a little bit. It's like you.
The ancient Greeks were brilliant at inventing fantastical animals, like the chimera, for instance, a fearsome fire-breathing monster with a lion's head, a goat's body, and a serpent's tail. In Greek mythology, the chimera was slain by Bellerophon, the son of Poseidon. But today, not biologists, this term describes any organism whose body consists of cells from two different organisms. Why am I telling you about this tonight? Because scientists in the United States recently tried creating the world's first human-monkey chimera. I'm going to repeat that so that it registers. American scientists injected human cells. What is wrong with people? And couldn't they have chosen a better time than a pandemic to do this? Fortunately, these...
See, that's right, too. He said, why are they coming up with scientists with these... why are they trying to come up with this during the time of this pandemic, you know, this virus going on, you know, and that too, you know, as is if you do the research on the origin of this so-called of this virus was created. It was created in Wuhan, a laboratory in Wuhan, China. You know, so think about that too. They creating how far-fetched is that not being true, you know, because you can see that they trying to create these hybrids, half man, half monkey, half man, half pig. You know, if you do the research on the origin of this virus, it goes to a laboratory in Wuhan, China, which was funded by the U.S. government, and that's what they do their experimentation things on. They do all type of experimentations there at the laboratory, you know. But and the same thing with these GMOs. GMOs is genetically modified foods, you know. And that's another thing too. Like, our people need to be aware because during the time of slavery, they had a theory out there that we was inferior genetically anyway. And you taking these genetically modified by genetics, the so-called black people or the the tribes in general, we was inferior people genetically, you know. So, and you got to put that in perspective that if you eat these GMOs, they don't know the long term effects, the long term effect of eating these GMO foods. Because GMO food is genetically modified, and it's a possibility that they can change your genetics also, and you just consuming this food and you don't know what's gonna do. They already think. You put two and two together. They trying to they got GMO food out there, and maybe down the line it genetically modifies your genetics, and so then they have these hybrid monkeys walking around, and then they just it's a bunch of confusion, and then just whatever theories they come up with from the past time, like this Darwinism and everything like that, they say, well, it's true. You know, we did evolve from monkeys. You know what I'm saying? Monkey, you know what if you understand what I'm getting at, the monkeys are somewhat like human, and you never know how you eating this genetically modified foods, you never know how that's gonna play on your body. It can dumb you down or make you never know how it's gonna go, because like it said, is like they said they don't know the long term effects of eating genetically modified foods. So if you just put that together, man, that's crazy. These people are mad. You know, just like the word said, never trust thy enemy. You know, these people are truly insane, man. They not fit for rulership. You know, I'm gonna just let this continue playing a little bit.
Efforts have also ignited a debate about scientific ethics. Are we pushing them too far? Here's a report on all you need to know.
In simple terms, DNA is the code of life. It is that all-important molecule we inherit from our parents. It gives the chemical instructions that make our bodies and sustain them. What if the DNA is mixed? This is exactly what scientists at the America's Salk Institute for Biological Studies recently tried doing. They integrated human cells into the embryos of a macaque monkey. In simple terms, they created embryos that were part monkey and part human. What happened next? The embryos were grown in the open in a laboratory for 20 days, and then, thankfully, they were destroyed. But who came up with the idea? This man, Professor Juan Carlos Ispizua Belmonte, who, by the way, also tried creating the first human-pig hybrid in 2017. So why does he keep doing this? Professor Carlos believes his work could advance understanding of early and the onset of disease, the progression of aging, and address the shortage of life-saving organs for human transplantation. But like with any unnatural experiment, some ethical concerns have been raised. A lot of ethical concerns. Scientists are arguing that while embryos in this case were destroyed in 20 days, others could try to take the work further and make a baby out of an embryo. The second big concern has to do with a moral dilemma. Will the embryos be classified as humans or non-humans? If the answer is humans, can we legally use them for experiment at a later stage without human consent?
That's going on right now. You know, they said we don't even have consent right now. Like he just said, if these hybrids will be labeled as humans or not. If so, if they're humans, can they experiment on them without their consent? We're getting done like that already as a people. Like like this vaccine that they got out. It's an experimental drug. They don't know what is going to happen, you know. But they forcing people, you know, through coercive persuasion. If you can just look that's a psychological term. Coercive persuasion. You being coerced through persuasion of media. What's getting it's being done. What's being said about this virus that's out. You being coerced to take these vaccines. You know, so Maxine Waters. So yeah, it's I don't understand. See, it's like it's in this Planet of the Apes original movie. You know, Beware the Beast Man. Like they have more sympathy towards animals than the human than a human being. You know, they gotta beware of these people, man. These people are twisted, just like the word said that their their um their hearts is not upright in them. You know, their hearts is not upright in them. Get that, get that. Yeah, the Soul Salakia, Habakkuk 2 and 4. And it reads, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. You know, that was the point. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. You know, he's not these people are not righteous, man. You know, their whole spirit about them, as a people, man, they not righteous. They don't go about in a righteous manner. You know, everything is contrary to the rules, the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, just let this video play it out.
The third and last concern is spreading viruses from animals to humans. The Wuhan virus has taught us a thing or two about it. We still don't fully know what the drawbacks or benefits of creating a human-monkey hybrid could be, but this experiment sure sounds like the beginning to a bad horror movie. Viewer report, we on World is One.
That bad horror movie, you know? That's the end of that video. But I'm gonna play the clip of that Planet of the Apes. Beware the Beast Man. I think that should be at the beginning of this clip here. But I hope the Akim was edified by the video. You know, never trust thy enemy. You know, like like it said, if you can look it up, you know, by genetics they thought our people was inferior anyway. You know, they creating these they trying to create your food. They trying to create, you know, everything that you eat. They trying to create. Going into what the word said, they trying to play. They trying to play as the Most High. You know, putting themselves as in the seat of the Most High. You know, so yeah, I hope the body was edifying and giving all praise, honor, and glory again to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakakadash. And shalom to the next time, Yahweh willing.